How's it going? Solo Summers, the continuity liaison for the Langley African American Heritage Council. This year, for Black History Month, we have 3 events. We have game night, the Base Theater movie night, and we also have the luncheon at the end.
We went out to on the dad. I ran into my flight chief and my chief. He was like, hey, Austin, how you doing? He was like hitting on the waitresses. I was like, hey. All right, then.
I know there's a bomb, but I'm trying to get to the yams right quick.
Once again, back is the incredible.
Why we had so much fun at game night. Shout out to Slick and Sonic. Next, we have movie night at the Base Theater. We're gonna watch Hit It. Wow, Hidden Figures is such a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I really encourage you to go out and go see it. Next up, we have our grand event, the luncheon.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Technical Sergeant Sonara Brown, and I'd like to welcome you to this year's Black History Month luncheon on behalf of the Langley African American Heritage Committee. This year's theme is Black in Tech, where we will showcase the importance of Black STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine. Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Langley Air Force Base Color Guard, the singing of our national anthem by Tech Sergeant Jervelle Jones, and remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Pritchett.
Go. Oh. Reset. March.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Order. Order. Colors. Colors turn. Hearts.
I invite you to pray with me. Most merciful and loving God, your word says your faithfulness continues through all generations. We give you thanks this morning. As we gather in this place, I ask that you fill us full of your love, joy, and with gratitude and optimism for what you have planned for our lives. We thank you that you always remember the struggles of people all over the world. People are hurting, people who feel excluded, and are facing various challenges. Blessing God, we know that you bless all people, and we thank you for the many special blessings that you have given us, both small and great. Thank you that your hand is always directing and moving us forward in your purpose for our life. I ask that you continue to give us wisdom and courage so that we will always rise above all barriers and make this a better world. We thank you for the rich history of leaders that have paved the way for us. Continue to inspire our leaders today to work more faithfully for justice and dignity of life. Lord God, bless this time, guide our thoughts, and strengthen us to accomplish what we come to do. Bless the food and those who have prepared it. I pray all these things in your holy name. Amen.
At this time, we would like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and guests who have joined us today. As many of you know, African American history is both nationally recognized and celebrated during the month of February. This celebration raises awareness of the numerous contributions made by African Americans throughout history. This year's theme is Black in Tech, which highlights the significant role that Black Americans have played in shaping technology around the world. Many everyday essentials, from the caller ID to the traffic lights, came from creative minds of Black technological inventors, innovators, and leaders. At this time, we'd like to begin the lunch buffet, which Chef Dro has graciously catered. Please pay special attention to your table and join the buffet line. Ladies and gentlemen, lunch is served. Enjoy.
My mom was a school teacher right here in Langley, and later served over at the NASA Research Center. Anyone seen the movie Hidden Figures? Yeah. My mother was one of the characters portrayed in that film, right? Can I get a round of applause for my mom? Absolutely. All right, so upon graduating high school, I attended Hampton University. Shout out to the real HU. Any Howard grads in here? The real HU, right? So college was interrupted. I was drafted into the Army, served in the Korean War. But unfortunately, I got wounded, which later earned me a Purple Heart, my act of heroism, right? After completing my service commitment in the Army, I returned to college. Ended up going to now Temple University in Philadelphia, is when I got my master's degree in physics, which after college, I started working for Bell Laboratories, and I began to work in my most prized possession. All right, the electric microphone. What does it do for you? Who here has a cell phone? Everybody has one? You ever put it on speaker? You're welcome, right? my device is located in every small media device, right? So throughout that, I was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 1999. I've earned many more accommodations, but my biggest thing that I've returned back to Bell Laboratories, I established the ABLE Foundation, right? And now that allowed me to pay it forward to our other innovators because it allowed them to have their ideas and other inventors promoted, right? So I'll turn it over to my next brief.
Hey everyone. That is good. So I know everybody in here has used GPS before, Global Positioning System. And I just want to say you're welcome. So my name is Dr. Gladys West. I was born here in Virginia back in 1930. I look great, y'all, right? Exactly. So I was valedictorian of my high school. That won me a full scholarship to Virginia State University. So there, I majored in mathematics. And then after that, started teaching. And then I moved to, went back to school, got my master's in mathematics. And then finally got a government job out at the Naval Proving Ground, which is now called the Naval Surface Warfare Center. So there I was only one of 4 black people working there at the time. One of the individuals was my husband. I married him, right? So while there I was a computer programmer, as well as a project manager for a data processing center that analyzed satellite data. I was also part of a study that proved the regularity of Pluto's motion relative to Neptune. I also worked on an IBM 7030. You know what? I gotta get my facts right now. So that involved complex algorithms to account for variations in gravitational, tidal, and other forces that distort Earth's shape. All of that data worked into the basis of global positioning systems, so GPS. So again, you guys are welcome. Wait now. I was inducted into the Air Force's Hall of Fame back in 2018. It is nice to meet all of y'all.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out. Now, I'm a man that enjoys games myself, but my legacy is nothing to play with. I'm the guy you can blame every time you get home from work. Your kids are tugging on your blouse saying, "Can I play some games on your phone?" It's also because of me. For those of you who had a significant other, you couldn't get 1 second with them on Valentine's Day because they were busy playing the new 2K or Call of Duty. My name is Jerry Lawson, and I'm responsible for the development of the removable game cartridge. So I had humble beginnings. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and when I was a kid, my parents encouraged me to believe that I could do anything I wanted to. When I was 13 years old, I achieved an amateur radio license, and I built my own station using parts from the local electronics store. And years later, I joined a company called Fairchild Semiconductor in San Francisco, where I rubbed shoulders with gentlemen like you may be familiar with called Steve Jobs. Shout out to Apple. And while I was there, I developed the Channel F console with a removable game cartridge. So the significance of this is, back in the day, way before most of y'all were even born in the room, When you bought a game system, there was only one game attached to it. If you wanted Pong, you bought a Pong system, only one game. If you wanted to play Galaga, you had to buy the system, only had one game. But with me, you had your station, and then you had as many cartridges with as many different games as you wanted to. So you could plug one cartridge in, play one game, plug another cartridge in for another. So over the decades, my innovation grew into the modern day video game industry that brings in over $100 billion annually. And now you cannot get your children to go to bed on time to save their lives. I help bring millions of children's imaginations to the screen. And now I think I'll hand it over to another New York native from Queens, a woman who deserves her crown. Please give your undivided attention to Ms. Brown.
Hello, everyone. Hello, I am Marie Von Britton Brown. Now, you may not know me, but I can guarantee you know my work. I saw a young lady in the back checking on her son from her phone, and I thought, that's cool. I know I had a hand in that because I invented the home security system. Now, back in the 1960s, my husband Albert, Sweet Al is what I like. We were living in Queens, New York in the 1960s. I was a hard-working full-time nurse, and he was an even harder working electrician. A lot of times, we were not home at the same time. We worked so many long hours. So with that, again, being in Queens, New York, the crime was on the rise, and police response was extremely slow, if at all. So, to ease my mind, I decided to come up with something to make me feel safe at home. What did I do? Placed a tiny camera inside of a peephole, connected it to a television inside of my home. I was able to see everything that was happening outside from inside of my house. Easy. I also had a remote that allowed me to unlock and lock the door from anywhere from inside of my home. Extra safe, right? Well, in 1966, me and Sweet Al decided to patent our system. It didn't get approved until 1969, but we continued to work at it, and it grew. After it got patented, I've added to it by creating a panic button. You were able to push a button, and it would send a direct signal to the police station, so they would know, hey, somebody's breaking in my house. Something's going wrong. Easy. So after all of that, you would think it would have been so easy to gain the recognition that I so well deserve. Not even, because while I was the inventor and I was the mind behind it, I did have other people to help. But because they were on there with me, they got all the limelight. And I was in the background because I was the black woman. All the men came first. So eventually, though, I got all my just due, and I was finally awarded from the National Science Committee, which made me the most elite and the most prestigious black woman in the United States. And I am Miss Marie Van Britton Brown, but you can call me Miss CCTV.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Now, for those of you, I've seen many people on their cell phones today, and hopefully no one who is a bill collector, telemarketer, that friend who only contacts you when they need to borrow money, you can thank me for that. I am Dr. Shirley Jackson. As a child, I loved math and science, so much so that I studied the circadian rhythms of bees from the flowers and the shrubs near my home in Washington, D.C. I loved school. My parents emphasized education. When I was in high school, my physics teacher said, "Oh, you think that you know more than me, then come on up and teach the class." And so I did. I graduated also as valedictorian of my class, and then I furthered my education at MIT. I thought it would be fun. I thought there would be people there who looked like me, but not so much. When I was at MIT, in the study groups, the other young girls did not want me. as part of their study group. When I sat down to eat lunch, people hurried up and finished eating, or they didn't even get their dessert. But nevertheless, I persisted and continued with my education there. I also thought it was important because there wasn't a lot of people who looked like me. So I organized other Black students, and together we came up with proposals that we sent to the administration to get more Black student support, more Black faculty, and things of that nature. So while I was in Boston, again, as I said, it was not always a good experience for me. I was spit on, I was chased, I was shot at, but I continued my graduate education there. I was determined to not let them get the satisfaction of seeing me walk away. And so I stayed at MIT, and I was the first Black woman to get a PhD from MIT in any field. Physics, theoretical physics is just fascinating to me. It's fascinating. So after that, I continued and I did some research at IBM and Bell Laboratories, and again, that led to the technology that you know today, fiber optics, the fax machine that we all use at work, and that caller ID, right? Call waiting. Remember when we didn't have that? Touch tone phones, all of those things. Some of you don't even remember dial tone phones, so I made that better for all of us. I went on to teach, went on to higher education. I taught at my beloved Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute for many, many years. I also was appointed by former President Bill Clinton as the first woman and first African-American female of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Many years later, I was appointed by President Obama to be the co-chair of his Intelligence Advisory Board. I've won many accolades and awards and have had many accomplishments in my life. And I don't want to bore you with that. I know we need to get on with this beautiful program and this lovely lunch that has been prepared for us. But I just want to leave this with you. First of all, thank you to all of these other people who have paved the way for us. Don't be discouraged when there's just a few of you, because we need innovators like you. We need more people who are courageous and will step up and do great things. And so thank you all, young people, for the work that you are doing. And secondly and finally, when mom calls, when your favorite auntie calls, think of this conversation and me, Dr. Shirley Jackson. Thank you very much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our Black in Tech presentation. If you haven't finished enjoying your food, please feel free to do so during the program. Please join me in welcoming our musical guest, Mr. Carl Savage and Friends.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Yes, we are very honored to be here to help, in this celebration, a well-deserved celebration. And we also, while I'm here looking out at you, want to really give all the military, the Air Force, all of you ladies and gentlemen of the Air Force, a great, just to show you our appreciation for what you do for the country and keeping us safe, and your dedication is very well appreciated, I tell you. Thank you so much. And we're gonna, there were many great Black guitarists throughout the world. Most of them coming from the South, going up north, into Chicago, Detroit, the big cities. And so we were just gonna pay a tribute to just a few of them. The first one that comes to mind, that I can remember as a kid seeing him on TV, was Mr. Charles Anderson Berry, better known as Chuck Berry. So we're gonna do a little thing back here. Distance information, give you Memphis, Tennessee. Help me find a party, try to get in touch with me. Did not leave a number, but I know who place to call. I'm gonna take the message, you'll be on the wall. Oh, help me information, touch with my she's the only one to call me from Memphis, Tennessee. Know which way to go. Well, the last time I saw my group was waving me goodbye. Every home got some cheek, they took us from her eye. Pulled apart because of my midnight agree. And now I'm home back in Memphis, Tennessee. A little bit of Chuck Berry for you. And the next gentleman is from Mississippi. And he, oh, okay. He's from Mississippi and worked his way up to Memphis, Tennessee. That's the last song to play, but he picked up his nickname as or AKA at that time from living on Bill Street, and his name was Riley King, so other known as BB King. So we're gonna try out one of his more famous songs.
Now we'd like to welcome the driving force behind today's Black in Tech Luncheon, Mr. Solomon Summers. Mr. Summers currently serves as the Continuity Liaison on the Langley African American Heritage Committee's Executive Council and worked tirelessly to plan this year's Black History Month event. Let's give him a round of applause. Mr. Summers.
Thank you. Good afternoon. All right, so my name is Solo. I am Solomon Summers, and I would like to introduce our guest speaker today. He is Senior Master Sergeant LaRae Smedley. This person, well actually, just appointed Chief Master Sergeant. It's a small world because I actually met him here, like 2018, 2017 timeframe, and he was a guest speaker then. And it was crazy. It was like a small world. Came back 83rd NAS. I work at I left the Air Force on the 83rd NAS. But enough about me. Please, Chief Select LaRae Smedley, please come to the front.
It's not worth much. Hey, greetings, Langley Air Force Base. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. I think the only thing more difficult than speaking to a room full of strangers is speaking to a room full of strangers after having a meal like that. Can we give it up for the staff here? Outstanding job. And to Mr. Carlton Savage and friends, we thank you guys so much. And to Mr. Aaron Mills, where are you, sir? Can you wave your hand? Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this exhibit. If you haven't had a chance to come over here to the table to my right, to your left, and check out the aircraft exhibit, it is remarkable. So thank you guys so much. Give them a round of applause. I do want to say to the 633rd Air Base Wing leadership, I know Colonel Blue had to step out, and to Command Chief Ferrer, thank you guys so much for being a champion of all observances that help highlight the culture and the accomplishments of various ethnic groups. Thank you guys so much for giving us this platform. And if you don't mind, just real quick, I got to give a quick shout out to my commander, Lieutenant Colonel Lubinsky, and my Chief Master Sergeant Craig Havilis, and my First Sergeant, Master Sergeant Wheat. Thank you guys so much for being here. And to my entire 83rd NAS family who's in attendance, thank you guys for coming out to be a part of this event. Now, if you've been in the Air Force longer than 2 weeks, you know that programs don't just come together. And it takes people who are diligently working behind the scenes to pull something like this off. So to the African American Heritage Council, chaired by Mr. Summers, Solo, my friend, thank you guys so much for all you do. This is outstanding. Can we give them a round of applause? Special shout out to my friend, Master Sergeant Wayne Cotton, who is the person that recommended me to be the speaker for this occasion. I thank you. Now, here's the deal. I gave you a long list of acknowledgments and names for a reason. Because if this goes well, I want you to thank me. But if this goes bad, you have a list of people you can hold accountable. But in all seriousness, to all the commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, to all of our officer enlisted and civilian members in the room, thank you, and I'm honored to have the privilege of this prestigious platform. Now, I know military speech protocol dictates that I give you an introduction where I say what I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say, and then I say what I'm going to say, and then I conclude by telling you what I said. But this afternoon, I want to deviate from that format while I try to wax philosophically on the topic of African American history, or Black History Month, as it pertains to contributions of African Americans in technology. And I'm going to try to strike the right balance between being informative and inspirational. This is American history. It's a product that's well known and respected worldwide. And we are presented this history at a young age, and we love it. We are so familiar with this product that we rarely give thought to how it was made. All we know is that it's good. Yeah. This is the product of an ugly and timely process. This is American history. It's constructed of monuments and statues built to honor our greatest generals, even those who fought and lost on the wrong side of history. This is the celebration of conquest, battles, and wars that have secured the liberties we enjoy today. This is American history. We love it, and there's nothing wrong with respect and reverence for our history, but we can't allow our pride to numb us to the fact that something is missing. Something has been cut out. In fact, the incision is so precise that it can be concluded that that was done intentionally. Why was something removed? Was it to make this product more presentable? To make it more attractive? Why would anyone cut out the core of something this magnificent? I can't think of many products that we would accept as incomplete, but that's how we've come to accept American history. And this is the missing piece. It's made of the same ingredients, it's endured the same process, but since it has been extracted from where it rightfully belongs, we had to give it another name. And by giving it another name, we assume that it has less value. It's been cut out. In fact, it's been left out by design. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is African American history. This is Black history. It's made of the same ingredients, it's endured the same process, but it's significantly smaller. And perhaps it's smaller because there aren't many monuments erected to honor the contributions of Black men and women. Our streets, our states, our holidays, our national parks don't bear their names. Our history books rarely acknowledge them. They're largely absent from Hollywood's depiction of the people we deem as heroes. And it's difficult yet undeniable that Black people have been surgically detached from America's narrative through tools like slavery, hatred, racism, segregation, Jim Crow, economic disparities, social injustice. And that's why this month and occasions like this are necessary, because they bring to light the fact that while these two products are packaged and presented separately, they must coexist in order for us to truly appreciate a holistic history that makes us all Americans. Black history is American history, not separate, but residing within. And understanding this truth of history can render an opportunity for all of us to discover vital lessons about who we really are and what we value as Americans. I once read that you can tell a great deal about a country by what they deem important because of what they choose to remember. And I would suggest that we learn even more about a country and its people by what they choose to forget. Our collective presence in this moment is a wake-up call to those who dare slip into the state of historical amnesia, where we learn nothing because we remember nothing. Today, we choose to remember just a few African Americans who made significant contributions to the world through technology. Now, I need your help in a brief exercise. I'm going to call out something, and I want you to tell me the first name that comes to mind. Facebook, Amazon, Tesla,
Elon Musk,
Microsoft. But before this occasion, what if I would have called out things like GPS, video game cartridges, home security systems, even their microphone? There's two distinct reactions to both of those set of names. And this is why Black history is important, because it helps us identify and appreciate the other set of names. We talked about Gladys West. We talked about Marie Van Britten Brown. We talked about Jerry Larson, but did you know, or have you heard of Lisa Galopter? She is the mastermind that cultivated the ascent of online video, as well as she is the person, online video, that helps with streaming platforms like Hulu. She's also the person who created the animated GIF. Anybody text a GIF lately? Exactly. Lisa Galopter is a game changer to the way we communicate today, and her accomplishments earned her the title of being one of our generation's greatest technology innovators. What about Marion Croak? Anyone heard of Marion Croak? Exactly. But how many of you have a VoIP phone on your desk today? All of us. And we owe that to Marion Crook. In fact, it's her technology that is still used in companies like Zoom and Skype. In 2013, Dr. Croak was inducted into the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. So ladies and gentlemen, based on the skits that were presented earlier, and along with the evidence that I just presented, I think it's safe to say that we are all guilty of being promoters, advancers, and benefactors of Black history. All of us have been, and the generations to come will be impacted by Black history. And the fact that the names of some of the world's greatest innovators are forgotten and overlooked is proof that we still have work to do. It highlights the fact that it is all of our job, no matter what color we are, to ensure that the contributions and sacrifices of African Americans are woven into the fabric of our military culture and our nation. And I want to close on this thought. War teaches us that death does not discriminate, that artillery rains down on all service members without prejudice. So when we're in the trenches together, it doesn't matter if the brother or sister next to you is black, white, red, green, or yellow. All that matters is we are standing together. It is our collective obligation to ensure that the military remains one of the most progressive institutions in America when it comes to eradicating racially motivated policies and discriminatory practices. It is crucial, now more than ever, that we challenge our own notions of diversity and we examine our own unconscious biases. Our job, our collective responsibility, is to ensure that anytime hate is used as a weapon of mass destruction, that we use love as a weapon of mass reconstruction. And I don't care how or why you came into this room. My question and my only concern is, how will you leave? Everyone look at the right side of your chest for all my uniform members. And you'll see your name there, which is indicative of the fact that we are unique. We are unique individuals, all possessing different talents and different gifts. And that uniqueness lends to our diversity, and that diversity is our strength. And if you look to the left side of your uniform, it says U.S. Air Force, which means that there's uniformity, that we are marching in the same direction, and that we are striving towards the same goals, which is to defend the United States of America. And yes, we must value our uniqueness. Yes, we must cherish our uniformity. But none of it matters if there is no unity. We must be unified. And that means that our behavior must align with our core values. That means that when we leave this room, we leave our prejudicial biases and stereotypical predispositions at the table. That means when we leave this room, we will not only preach equality, but we will practice equality. That means that when we leave this room together, regardless of our skin color, that when we leave this room, it will be known that when we face discrimination on any level, whether it is intentionally perpetuated or not, it will be intentionally eliminated because we need each other. This is Black History Month, and Black history is American history. And American history is our shared history. But we cannot do this without each other. Thank you.
Sir, can you please come back to the stage, sir? Mr. Summers would like to present you with a token of appreciation on behalf of the Langley African American Heritage Committee.
So I just want to read what it says. So, Langley African American Heritage Council or Committee, with our greatest appreciation, we hereby honor Senior Master Sergeant LAAHC Medley. Thank you for your contributions to making this year of Black History Month Black in Tech launch a success. February 23rd, 2023. I really appreciate it.
At this time, we'd like to recognize the members of the Langley African American Heritage Committee and all the volunteers who worked hard to put this event together. Will those members please stand? Give them a round of applause. Additionally, we'd like to extend a special thank you to Chef Dro for today's delicious meal and excellent service. She left her. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope this luncheon has given you a glimpse of Black in Tech. With that, this concludes today's program. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I am the Continuity Liaison for the Langley African American Heritage Council, and I want you all to please join. Whether it's community involvement, financial literacy, or mentorship, the list goes on. I personally believe for 2023, our Black in Tech theme was a success. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Slick and Sonic, B. Mark Kitchen, Aaron Mills, Carlton Savage, and our guest speaker, Chief Select LAAHC Medley. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. If you'd like to be involved, the Langley African American Heritage Council meets once a month every Wednesday at 1400 at the Riverview Event Center. Hope to see you there.